Okay, here we go, our B-long color. Here's our technical sections, separate the back, sides, and the top. Now starting through the right side, I'll be approaching this hair. I start off with the light foil, and then everything else in this side panel will be back-to-back foils with bleach and 20 volume peroxide. So as I apply the foil, I make sure I get it towards the root, go for even, consistent saturation, pack up my foil, and then we're on to the next. Now with doing foils, here I jump and I'm just slicing the hair, so 100% of that hair is actually in the foil. It's no longer a weave. I started off with a weave so it would fall slightly softer, but everything else in the side panel is a slice and they're all back to back. Okay, and as I work with my back-to-back slices here, one thing I have to keep in my mind throughout the entire process is I need to get that foil like super on the roots, not touching the scalp. But you don't want to do a chemical process and the client leaves with roots. So the secret is to nail your technique and get it super close to those roots. Pack up the foil. So here's my next slice. Now the angles of my slice pivot slightly. I angle a little bit higher, aiming towards the crown. Just because here at this point of the technique, her head shape starts to round a bit, so I can adapt to that roundness of the head technically better. And you have to remember that when the pre-lightener with 20 is in the foil, with time, that product will gradually expand. Okay, so when you're working with technical foils, you better have your craft skill sets down, so you really don't have to waste too much time in between foils. So the way I apply it, I put the foil, I place it right at my section, I hit the product in the mid shaft, and then I move slowly up towards the roots, and I make sure the ends are saturated. Okay, and then I also take into consideration that while this chemical is processing, we'll get a slight bit of expansion, so I get the product close enough to the roots, but not so close that I get like hot roots, so that where the color seeps outside of the foils and you get like bunnies and stuff like that. That doesn't look nice at all. So it's the same technical procedure throughout the sides. Again, back-to-back slices, apply the product at mid-shaft, then gently touch by the roots and anticipate that product will expand a bit. So that's where that line of demarcation is. That will come up slightly, so my end result will be right on spot. Okay, so through the opposite side, it's the same exact technique. With my first section, I'll take a weave because I want a little bit of that natural hair right at my very first section because it'll fall softer. Okay, and again here, do the left side, the same technique. Now if you find that the hair is longer than your foil, there's no point in going out and cutting out like a 2-foot foil. So the best way to adapt to hair that's longer than the length of your foil, go in, here I'm slicing my piece, I elevate the hair, I place the foil right on my section, I apply it to mid shaft, then the roots, and the longer pieces I can pick them up and place the chemical and the hair all in that same area. Be methodical. So here we see that the length of the hair again is longer than my foil. Place the foil, get tension, hold it down, hit the mid shaft area with the product first, and then gently and kindly touch up by the roots, elevate the hair, lower the hair, elevate the hair, lower the hair, so everything is in the same working spot. Seal up your foil and then pack it down. There we go. Those are our 2 triangle sections back to back completed. And now we're going to work through the top portion. Through the top area, I'll start off on the left side. I'll work in those horizontal sections and I'll work from left to right. No pivoting here, just everything's in the foil. And I broke up that big section this way so I can take everything back to back, because at the top of the head it starts to round, and here I'm starting to incorporate one additional color. So at this top panel, I'll start incorporating a new color, a level 6 red, and I'll alternate this with a lightener and an up to 40 volume. So here we go, sectioning out that fringe area. We're alternating colors. So we started out with that pre-lightener. The second foil was that red. And now we're going back and we're going to use a pre-lightener. So this will break up the color and give us a lot more dimension through that fringe area, which is also a key point of the haircut. So that's why I chose to throw in a really strong color like red here. Okay, so through this top panel, I'm working from left to right, and everything meets. So we start to build some corners here with our chemicals. So it's going to fall a little bit heavy, but that's fine. It'll just allow this last red foil to the top just pop out that much more dramatic. And that's the effect that I'm looking for through the top. So through the sides, the back-to-back foils with pre-lightener. To this top panel, I alternate the two tones. Okay, so now working through this top area, here I'm going back and I'll be using my pre-lightener. And again here, we're still working pre-lightener with 40. Apply the product at the midshaft, and then go in carefully and gently, touched by the roots. Anticipate that product to expand. Close up your foil. So the reason to the side panels I used, the first panel was pre-lightener with 20, and the opposite side was pre-lightener with 30. And now that I'm working through the top, I'm using pre-lightener with 40. The reason for that is I get enough time for the sides to catch up with the top. If I did everything at 20, chances are the timing would be a little bit off, and I want that consistency with tone, especially when I'm using pre-lightener. I don't like to leave pre-lightener on too long. And the reason I said I don't like leaving pre-lightener on too long, because it's all about the integrity of the hair. There are so many ways to get an end result. In my opinion, the most perfect end result is an end result where the hair is left healthy. So if I started off with, say, everything with pre-lightener with 40, or pre-lightener with 30, or pre-lightener with 20, my color tonage would probably be off. And by changing my developers, it gives me more flexibility on my timing. And again, it's all about the integrity of the hair. So close up that packet. And here we go. So here I'm going to go back and I'm going to use that red color, the level 6 red, just because it's like I'm connecting. So the front has that alternation between the red and pre-lightener, and the back part is all pre-lightener. So this will break everything up and let those two tones flow more organic, more natural. So here again, these are where my two sections connect. So by altering the color to the red again, it'll kind of allow all those sections chemically, color-wise, to fuse and transition much softer. I'm not going for a really hard, yucky line. So I like that nice, soft transition. And then here, back to the pre-lightener. Our final foil. So again, midshaft, then roots. Ends, lift them, lower them, lift them. So all of our product and our work area, workspace is all in that same 3-inch area. We don't have to use the entire foil. And it allows you to work cleaner, faster, smarter, and healthier. For the remaining hair in the back, I'm coloring everything with a level 7 copper. So we're staying tone on tone. We're working with bleach stuff, red alternated foils, and then we're using a copper through the back. So there's not that much contrast with the tones that we're working on today. And again, with this technique, I'm leaving the roots out. So I have my level 7 copper with 40 volume developer. And once the ends are done, I'll go back and I'll hit the roots with the same formula, but I'll knock it down to 25 volume. And always aim for clean, smooth, even distribution and saturation of the color. So as you work down, I like to use my thumb and kind of mesh the hair together. Okay, and just keep on working in this manner until all the hair is colored. her ends aren't so damaged, so I can like use that same formula through the ends. If they were really porous, I'd use the same formula, but I may lower the developer to 30. But her ends are okay, they're not that super porous. Okay, so there we have it, our B-long technique for color. Enjoy.